So guys, after former Governor Fayose came out yesterday to say that Peter Obi is the only opposition that can stand Tinubu come 2027, now Mr. Dan Ulasi has also come out to say that Peter Obi is the only person that can remove Tinubu in 2027. This is coming at a time when IMF has lambasted the Tinubu's government. Look at this headline. It says, breaking news. The IMF has revealed that Nigeria is not among Africa's fast-growing economies, as countries such as Benin Republic, Cote d'Ivoire, Ethiopia, Rwanda, and Uganda continue to lead the continent's growth trajectory in the world. So guys, this is coming at a time when IMF is already telling the Tinubu's government that you people are not even among, the fastest growing economy. You are not among the first 5. That is very, very bad. Now, take a look at some of these reactions from Nigerians. This person here said, 2015, Nigeria was the 3rd fast growing economy in the world. In 2025, Nigeria is not even among the fastest growing in Africa. So guys, this is worrisome. And you can see the headline here that in 2015, Nigeria was the 3rd in the entire world. Today, Nigeria is not even among the first. That tells you the level at which these people, they've really destroyed our economy. Now, many other Nigerians have also reacted. Like this person here said, Tinubu's achievement so far, he divided our country. He removed all subsidies. He pardoned drug traffickers. He doubled our national debt. He increased taxes and poverty. He pardoned murderers. He upgraded corruption to a new version. He pushed millions of Nigerians into multidimensional poverty and hunger. It's a very sad situation in our dear country. That is what this guy is saying, that this government has really done evil to the country. Now, let me allow you to take a look at what Mr. Dan Ulasi has got to say about Peter Obi being the man for the 2027 election. Don't forget that even Mr. Sam Amadi has come out to say that Peter Obi is the only political party we know in 2027. Peter Obi is the man. Anyway, guys, just take a look at how Mr. Dan Ulasi has spoken about Peter Obi's relevance in 2027 if Nigerians really want to see Tinubu out of Aso Rock. Take a look.
P2B, people are saying he should come back to the PDP. Why should he come back to the PDP?
Well, what I'm saying is politics everywhere in the world is not a function of statistics. In terms of, if you look at what is going on in America, if America is not a stable country, Trump had run the place down. America is almost going. In fact, the news in America now is about this lock of what is happening in Gaza. That's trying to give Trump a new beginning. But the disaster in America, his spoken words, you cannot believe this is a country over 250 years in democracy. It all talks like a talk. So sometimes you look at America, you have sympathy for Nigeria. If they are that, horrible at that level, we're emulating them, and you don't see any standards they keep. The only thing that if you see a Democrat, you say Democrat, you hardly hear this moving from here to there. But the nature of governance is nothing exciting for one to copy. Not when you look at Trump. There's nothing to talk about.
So what do you think can make P2B excel in 2027?
Okay. Look at this way. In the last election, if I tell you honestly, P2B won that election, 2023. I can privately, authoritatively say so. He had 6.something million votes. Atiku had 6.something million votes. The president won with 8.something million. Even after all the nonsense that happened in Lagos State. And most places in the north, they suppressed his vote. And I did warn him. In fact, about 4 weeks ago, he was in my house in Enugu. I said, nothing has changed. People are prepared to vote for you, but you have to be prepared to take care of them to protect your vote. Because if you don't protect your vote, you're not going anywhere. He's the only one who can effectively and positively challenge this government and win. Because when you listen to him, very brilliant mind, that he said in 2 years you can turn any economy around unless you want to steal. If you're not going to be compromised with all these criminals in government, it's not rocket science to turn this country around, because we have the resources so to do. Yeah? But when borrowing comes up and you don't know where the money borrowed is supposed to, isn't that a sad episode?
And there are those who are wooing former President Goodluck Jonathan to join the fray in 2027.
That shows you how foolish the country is. How did he lose in 2015? They should have asked him. And on an interview with AIT or channels, I said I met him 5 times as president of Nigeria on his invitation. And on one occasion, I told him that he was going to lose this election. He said, if not the respect I have for you, I will walk you out of my office. And as his ambassador in China, is from Kanu. His ambassador at the United Nations is from here. And that the election is finished. That was the last time I went to his office. Then 2 weeks after, his secretary to government, Pius Anyi, called and called and said to hell with. And see how they lost, woefully. A man that had governance at Plata. And he just threw it away because he wasn't thinking. And I knew what his problem was then, but I won't say it and they are calling him to come back. Nothing absolutely exciting about him. Even before the result was announced, he had already considered defeat to Tinubu. They are counting it as part of his legacy. The result had not. Have you had anywhere in the world that you can consider only when the result has been announced? He considered defeat. That was why the former deputy governor of Edo State, who was his campaign manager, what's the name of that fellow? Ogadome, was mad. He was still in the hall where votes were being counted. The president has considered defeat. Called Buhari to congratulate him. It happened in this country. Ogadome was crazy. Saying no, they don't accept. And they told him the person you are working for has considered defeat. He said the result had not been called. So is that the character of person? What did he do? He comes from the south, comes from Bayelsa. Was he able to impress anything on Bayelsa? Instead, they all asking to please some people from some parts of the country they believe own Nigeria. That is the legacy he left behind, unfortunately. Unfortunately, because that's the person they used to destroy Peter Odili's ambition. And it's important you know this because Peter Odili was on the verge of becoming he was the person to have succeeded Obasanjo. He was the person to have succeeded Obasanjo, but I was in that campaign trail, going all over the country until something happened somewhere, and they said they won't put him out. Somebody said, Obasanjo believed that he used his resources with AIT, my late friend Dopesi, and some others to truncate his attempt for a third term. A lot of things happen in this country. And I knew what Peter did, yes. He said, Dan, this will not work. We have taken an oath to try. My brother, if I tell you, why I joined even the People's Redemption Party with Aminu Kano, we stay and look down myself, Aminu Kano, SG Koku, Uche Chukwumerije, and I would say, how can we continue this way? And one day, Aminu Kano was looking at me. I said, sir, I was born in Kano. I regard myself, until recently, I don't feel Kano State as my state of origin. That's what I was feeling. It didn't mean anything to me. And that's where I was born. God would have told me to be born somewhere else, So, but when you look at the level of development and what is going on in this country, nobody cares. So after my interview this morning, the governor called me. He said, please, this thing you're saying might cause a revolution. I said, will it cause a revolution? I hope it will be a positive revolution. That will have 774 local governments and water is not running in one. And you're telling me about revolution? What is a revolution? That millions of our citizens are dying? So do you go to your village to know the problems in various villages in this country? And you see governors move, attending function in their state capital, they are moving with 17, 20 SUVs in the state capital. Under 10 minutes drive, half of the vehicles are empty. All over the country, not just one state, not two, all over. And these are children of very poor parentage that God exposed and brought them up, elevated them to power. All they are thanking God is this kind of, Dubai-oriented kind of lifestyle.
You made reference to third term agenda, but recently, former President Obasanjo denied ever seeking for a third term and even went ahead to say, if anybody has an evidence.
How do you have evidence? Well, he's right to say that because you won't have any evidence. But those who have evidence will not come out to say. But I can come out to say. And he hears what that Dan Ulasi said, if he won't challenge it, because he knew what I told him, that you cannot go ahead with this. And that was why he stopped Peter Odili. Because Peter Odili was accused of using members of the National Assembly to truncate third term. So you can see then what is his name? Nwabara. My people said, that is the period of my people told me not to vote for third term. Because it was in the bill that is being discussed. It was in the bill. My people told me not to vote for this. My people said this. So finally, Obasanjo discovered it was Peter Odili who did that and then truncated his presidential ambition. I have seen things in this country. I was called into the villa that the president wanted to see me. In fact, I was at Arondizog for a burial. The mother of my now late friend, Happily Engineering, Emmanuel Okoro, the mother died. I was at Arondizog. And I was told that Ken Naman, then he was president of Senate, wanted to see me at all costs. So when he called, I said, I'm in Arondizog. And the road was so bad from Arondizog coming out to Maya. He said, Dan, you must have to come. That something is spoiling. I said, okay. I took off with my cousin-in-law, Dr. Kam, and we came into Enugu about 9 o'clock in the morning, drove to Ameshokon, entered Ken Namani's house, who was staying there, later Sisiono. I said, what's happening? So Ken sat down, sit down. Each time I come to the villa, I see you. There's something between you and Obasanjo. I said, so my friend, that is, we did one or two things together in campaign. He said they're preparing for a third term. I said, which one is third term? He brought out the bill. So I said, tomorrow let's go to Abuja. So in the morning we all flew back to this place and I went to the villa. So I said, Baba, what is this? Extension, there's something they called it. The house was going line by line. Then it was the former governor of Katsina State that was Speaker of the Federal. Is it Masare? Yeah. They were going, and in that bill, that was the time they put in to create the 6th state in the southeast. That was why people were annoyed. We would have gotten a 6th state to be like other zones, apart from Northwest that has 7. So the Masari was going line by line, approving things they want to approve, and the House was supposed to approve that the 6th state for Southeast. But Ken Naman, unfortunately, I didn't know for whatever reason, the Senate truncated everything. That was how it ended. So Obasanjo had visited Paris and was flying back from Paris to Nigeria. I was in this hotel. My phone rang, it was Olusegun Obasanjo. Because I had told him earlier on that something was being planned, and he denied that he didn't have an idea about third term. Then when he called, he had landed, he said I should come to the villa. That was how, what's the name of that person from Bayelsa that was then acting or managing director of NDDC? Alaibe. Then they promised Alaibe that they will make him governor. That's the money from my brother squandered. And they have wasted it. You see how God works. All the money Andy collected. He has gone election. How many times now? And all money gone. Selling their things now. Don't ever doubt what God can do. If God gives you the ability, the opportunity to help your people, try and help them, honestly. We have a situation in this country, we'll give you 1 naira to function. They eat 80 kobo. And they suddenly discover that 20 kobo will not do anything. They eat the remaining one because nothing will happen. And nothing happens. Nothing happens. This is why I was sad that this young man in Enugu had to leave PDP to go to APC. So what is the reasoning? If you leave A to B, B must be better than A. Is APC better than PDP? At least we'll have a legacy record of debt relief for Nigeria. What 8 years of what is his name, Muhammad Buhari? There was no governor. We're now in the 2nd year. Like I had given credit to this president. If anybody, including Peter Obi, had taken over after Muhammad Buhari, they won't perform any magic. The only thing is probably the person would have planned better. Before you remove subsidy, you planned and you have a team to anticipate what will happen when you remove it, and you try to find out how to cushion it. But he didn't do that. He just went on after swearing in, I removed subsidy, as if he's talking, giving his wife money for lunch. I removed this, I did this. He don't run government and pages of newspaper. A serious being. Look at where Nigeria is now. Almost irreversibly damaging the whole process.
Then there's the breaking news that Bayelsa governor has also defected to the APC. You just counted about 9 governors you still have, so we still have -1.
We'll say -1.
Where is he leading us to?
And I was in a meeting. He invited us to a meeting. We went to PDP meeting in the Southwest. He was there speaking eloquently, about where PDP was going and what will happen. This. So this is what I'm telling you, that there are no values anymore. There are no values, no integrity, no honor. So the problem of Nigeria is hydra-headed. It's not just that we are stealing money. It's just like a bishop of a church. On Sunday, they collect money in the church and give him to keep. He is the keeper of the money. He comes into his room midnight, he gets up to go and take some. He forgets that he's the man, he's the banker of the money. He wants to go and take some. Suddenly he will remember again that he's the bishop. This stealing is a genetic problem. So you don't know how to handle it. That is where Nigeria has degenerated to. That anybody gets into office, you just see them, look at them in pictures. You see the magnitude of decoration they make. Go and check who were their fathers and mothers. Their grandparents died poor people. God gave them opportunity to want to remedy the situation with their people. And they eat the money. I was telling somebody, there's a suburb of London called Golders Green. 100-something houses locked up, all owned by Nigerians. Put me. My principal when I was, my partner when I was active in science and medical equipment said, Dan, is there any school in Nigeria where you people train people how to steal money? Because anybody who makes honest money cannot come and buy a house in London or Dubai, and his people only stay there for 1 month in a year when they come on holidays, and he locks it up. So if you go to Golders Green, you will see a lot of breakups, windows broken, because white people who are hungry go there at night to break them and steal whatever they can. Only Nigerians own such properties. Something must be fundamentally wrong.
Let's look at the state of the nation. Recently, the President Bola Tinubu had the presidential pardon, and so much controversy has trailed that because of the number of drug offenders.
Look at the woman that killed her husband.
Miriam Sanda, think that killed her husband. So all of this, what's their take?
Was that a national priority? That's the only answer I'll give you. A drug baron, a lady who killed her husband, hasn't spent 5 years in prison yet, and you give them pardon. I said there must be a different conceptualization of leadership, of governance, that this man is having. That who is he trying to impress? Well, look, as you said, you rightly said, look at the problem it has elicited in the society. All the drug barons who were bringing in drugs, and our young men and women were taking them and dying. These are the people who are granting pardon. Have they discussed it in whatever form? That these are people who have committed murder. People think it's only when I take a gun and kill you. No, I can kill you by a word of mouth, by actions taken or inactions. When every opportunity is a force multiplier. But in this country, opportunities are not force multipliers. They are killers. They are killers. We don't see a government that, like I was telling somebody, when we have programs in the morning, either like Kakaki program, 7:30, 8, governors are sleeping. They don't see that thing we're saying. They are sleeping. And these are the people who are supposed to be addressed. They listen, okay, I do this. I give, what is his name? Former president, what is the one we call that is trying to come back again? Jonathan. It was, I had a program on AIT. What delayed me was that Dr. said, come over, let us have a cup of tea. I said, no, the flight going to Enugu, I will miss it. And I landed in Enugu. My phone was ringing. I said, who is this number? This number I don't understand. And I answered. He said, my name is Dr. What is this one that working with the AIT now? He was chief press secretary to Jonathan. Dr. Ruben Abati. He was his chief special advisor media. So he said, my name is Dr. Ruben Abati. I said, where are you Abati from? He started laughing. He said, the president wants to see you. I said, who is the president? He said, Jonathan. I said, want to see me? What for? He said, he just watched your interview and he wants to discuss with you. I said, well, I'm in Enugu now. He said, no, it's not true. Because I just left their office. move straight to the airport, join the 10 o'clock flight, and like that, 30 minutes I was in Enugu. He said, no. I said, do you know anybody at the airport? He said, yes, that they have security people. I said, tell them I'm still waiting for my luggage. My luggage hasn't come out. So the chief security officer came out, and then I told him what was happening. In fact, they called him. He said that he's in front of Chief Ulasi, and they couldn't believe it. And after that, Jonathan went to Jerusalem. Go and check and see the history of this period. He went for Jerusalem. He stayed 2 weeks. When he came back, they called me again. I came into his office, and I was discussing questions. He said, sir, when you left university, I was in class 2 in secondary school, 1973. So when you look at this, is our fate, the fate of over 200 million. Are you people even up to 200 million? A country that tells itself falsehood. If you are married and your wife has 4 children, you know that the first truth you tell yourself is your number of children. That after your children, your wife, then you start thinking of your, if you are lucky, you have siblings with the same parents. This is how you start, distributing whatever resources you have. But a country that begins to tell itself lies about the number of people it has, don't you think that we're in a disaster already? Because we're using numbers to share money. So we have numbers that not. I was telling somebody, if we are up to 200 million in this country, there would have been riots in the streets because there's so much hunger. When we did 1979, Aminu Kano ran for presidency. I was director of campaign for Aminu Kano, national director of campaign. So he ran for presidency. We were in his house in Kano doing calculation how we seize power. So we designated we win about 4 states in the north, 1 or 2 others in the east. I said, okay, that Kano had then 6.something million registered voters. That if we get 3 million, the most popular human being in northern Nigeria then was Madam Aminu Kano. We calculated between Kano, Kaduna, and Borno that what will happen is that we'll have a runoff with Shagari. My brother, Mbakwe, Zik, had 990-something thousand votes in Imo alone. In Kano, Aminu Kano had 800-something thousand with 6.something million registered voters. And I asked in a meeting, did they lie overnight? SG Koko bent his face. I said, SG, you remember our calculation now? They have in fact told me to look for the ministry I will manage, that they know I'm a revolutionary, where we'll help the poor. I said, we couldn't beat Zik, the number of votes he had in Imo, with about 3.something million registered voters, 6.something million registered voters. For a popular, loved son of Kano State, we were expecting 4 to 5 million. That they will be voting until it is the money. 800-something thousand, that's what Aminu Kano had in Kano. Zik had 900-something in Imo. Don't you see the dishonesty in falsehood, in saying whom we are? So if you tell yourself the first lie that you have 10 children instead of 4, don't you see that it doesn't hold?
And then, of course, the outgone INEC chairman, how would he assess it?
I think was it himself or the one he succeeded that Jonathan did not have a hand in her? It was the press people. I think it is this Mahmoud that the press people brought in. It wasn't the party. The PDP didn't nominate him. People were writing in national newspaper. Go and investigate it. Are you a journalist? Go and investigate what I'm telling you. Either himself or what is the name of the one he succeeded? Jega. It's either Jega or himself that the PDP government did not appoint. It was the press people and all these bodies, whatever they answer, that continued this and brought out the name of either Jega or whichever one of them. That's how he emerged. So we went on a meeting and I said, in a country where the only way you win is by rigging, people, the one people vote. We started hearing new languages of glitches. New languages come out when there is problem in Nigeria. You have 2 major elections in a day, one of National Assembly and presidency. The National Assembly is sent, and the other one is caught up with glitches. There were a lot of transformations they proposed. These beavers and that supposedly to help make the electoral process a lot more understanding, a lot more honest, a lot more transparent. But did it achieve that? I doubt if it achieved that. Because the election that brought Tinubu was neither here nor there. Unlike the one that brought, that was a presidential candidate who won, I think, Yaradua, and said that the election that brought him, the election Yaradua was faulty. You know, he said that. That was the only human being that admitted the dishonesty that brought him to power. But not today anymore. Not today. If you look at my friend, I call him friend, President of Senate, you don't know where he's coming from. That is one that is again very pathetic. You know, I don't talk to him anymore. He sent me one function. Come, I said, don't get closer. Because I remember one night, I was in the villa when Obasanjo was president. 2 a.m. Myself and the former chairman of NOA, and that's Idi Farouk. So by 2 a.m., Obasanjo came out. We were seeing some people. They left. He said, Dan, I said, sir. I said, you'll be the last I will see. I said, okay, sir. He called Idi Farouk. He was finishing with Idi. 2 a.m. Who was walking in? Former governor of Akwa Ibom State, Victor Atta. Now, Victor Atta had planned for his son-in-law to succeed him. They had finished the primary. But the person who won the primary was now Senate President. What is his name? Akpabio. Quote me on this. The person who won the primary was Akpabio. Okay. How did I know? My friend Chris Uba told me that he had a friend called Akpabio who was working with late Senator Ani Okonkwo. So between himself, this Senate President, and the person now, the Executive Secretary of Southeast Development Commission, Sylvester Okonkwo, two of them were there like this. He's the one who put Sylvester in this position now. They were like this. And so Atta made him commissioner in his government. So when they did this primary, he was the one who won the primary. So Chris Uba called me, said, Dan, you know, that time his brother was, Andy was the closest person to the president, but he had problem. They were struggling for something. So he was warned not to visit the villa. So he told me that there's a man called Akpabio who won the primary. You see how God works. So by that 2 a.m., what did you call the name of the governor there? Atta? Is it the one that is an architect?
Yeah, Victor Atta.
Victor Atta. He came in and was briefing Obasanjo that they had a beautiful primary, that one young man won. I was just laughing. Obasanjo said, Dan, why are you laughing? I said, because he's telling you falsehoods, sir. The person who won is one lawyer called Akpabio. That the person he's telling you that won is his son-in-law. Hey! Obasanjo shouted. He said, get me Ahmadu Ali, who was then our national chairman. He said, I got me to call Ahmadu Ali by this time. He will kill me in the morning. Then he told Andy to get him on telephone. They got him. He said he should just come into. By 2:30, Ahmadu Ali was in the villa. Every party that got involved in it are still alive. I'm mentioning names. And then Ahmadu Ali, President Obasanjo asked Ahmadu Ali, who won the primary in Akwa Ibom? He says what's the name of this Senate president? Akpabio. Not his son-in-law. The one he put his name is his son-in-law. Obasanjo nearly locked him up. If not for immunity, he nearly locked Victor Atta up. Only once, I didn't know once, something happened. Yes, when this investor lost his uncle, we were at Ojoto doing burial. And that was the first and last time I met the Senate president today.
Given the little you know about the Senate president, at least from very beginning that you know, how would you assess his performance as Senate president?
It's a disaster. For me, it's a disaster. What has he done? That singles him out as a good performer. What has he done? When I remember how, as minority leader in the House representing us, Akpabio, they started charging him for stealing. Then they called him to London. I didn't know who was that. Buhari, I don't know who. They went to London, came back, and moved over to the other party. That's how it started. Is that an honorable you want me to think of? What will they be doing? They always stamp, rubber stamping whatever the government wants them to do. Have you seen anything extraordinary? Have you seen any serious debate in the National Assembly today in the interest of the common man? If you have, you're a journalist, tell me. I'll be ready to apologize. But I haven't seen, every time you see them. Who was the one who said that anything the man brings, they will approve it? In this country, we have seen a former chairman of Nigerian Labour Congress, a former governor, a former this, who said that if you join APC, your sins will be forgiven. Be an armed robber, come to APC. That's what Oshomole tell Nigerians, told us. And today he's a senator again in Federal Republic of Nigeria. And he said we have hope. There must be a democratic revolution. How it will come, I don't know, but it will come. By the grace of God. That the vision that the Lord gives me, it will come. Nigerians cannot continue suffering this way. In the land of plenty, people are dying everywhere.
In all of this, do you think our democracy is threatened?
Well, if I said threatened is you're being simplistic. There's no democracy. Something that exists is threatened. But if something does not exist, how can it be threatened? There's no democracy. We have civil rule, not democratic practice. All we have in Nigeria is civil rule, changing one civilian to the other. The process of democracy is a very complicated thing. And Nigerians are not in a position to adhere to the rules and processes of democracy. Because people who have become genotypically and phenotypically corrupt cannot run democracy. Democracy is it's just like you're looking at, this is the governor of Delta State is speaking. That is what democracy is. There are two people there. His ADC is standing behind him. They cast a vote. There are 2 votes. But in this country now, they cast a vote. They will write that those 2 people are 20. And somebody who calls himself a neck official will sign that they are 20. If you talk, they will kill you. 2 people. Look at governor. Look at his ADC. There's a vote now. 2 people voted, and they will write it 100. That's what you call democracy.
What is the role of judiciary in all of this?
This is now the Nigerian earthquake. The Nigerian disaster is judiciary process. The executive and legislative arms of government hitherto, I thought, was the only scandalous aspect of Nigeria. But when you get close to see how judges bargain for, judgments, people are now free even to talk about it. So you see that I don't want to use the word that God will help us, because we are not the only creation of God. If God creates you and you don't want to take care of your life, you'll be heading to hell. It gives you free conscience to see good and bad, and you decide to be on the side of evil, and you're calling him to help you. I doubt if he will. For a man who sent his only begotten son to die for us, what other example do you want him to do for us? If we can't learn anything from that, then it's a pity.
What are the chances for President Tinubu come 2027?
There is no opposition. Look at how we started well by talking about, look at the rate of defections going on. These are the people who would have challenged him. They're all going over to his party. Yesterday, the best PDP governor left too and went over to APC. So who is challenging? So presently now we have an APC government in Enugu, we have in Abakaliki, we have in Owerri. I don't know what Abia governor is going to do. Already Soludo has endorsed Tinubu. He visited Anambra and he endorsed him publicly. But he's afraid of the name of Juku. He doesn't want to jump ship, because he knows if he jumps ship, he could lose his second term election. Nobody knows if he wins next month, he will then jump over in December. You can't trust these people anymore. What will happen? If you heard what he said in his mouth when Tinubu visited Anambra, it was more than euphoric. I was just sharing that you can go home and forget about we are giving you votes. For somebody who's in Africa, does that mean Africa will now have a presidential candidate? That's a political party with legislators, national legislators and state assembly legislators. They just had a by-election in my zone, Anambra South, and the senator had the person who replaced late Ifeanyi had 90-something thousand votes. That's what they wrote for him. So imagine what they will write for him as governor when the time next month comes up. So we have fundamental problems.
And if you are given an opportunity, for the sake of argument, if you are to support any candidate for 2027, who will those candidates, that candidate or those candidates be?
Two people. First, Peter Obi.
Why?
He's very intelligent, hardworking, honest, unlike the typical Nigerian politician. If he tells you something is black, day after tomorrow, you ask him again, he will tell you that that thing is black. He's not given to throwing away money for the sake of taking advantage of a political process. Because 1 month ago, he was in my house in Enugu, and we were analyzing, most of these things, the possibility of his winning. Then the question is now that I'm seeing there's a conspiracy of people wanting him either to come back to PDP or to join ADC so that they will make sure he doesn't get nomination. And you can see it's a very high-powered plot, not limited to just the political party. It might be coming from the presidency. Because he's the only person with more than a 50% chance to bring down this government. Without any visible support, he made 6.something million after he won Lagos. Do you know the places he won? Nasarawa, here, he won everywhere. Because Nigerians have started believing that there's something special about this man. It's not the common, literally Nigerian politician who talks from both sides of his mouth. So he's one person who, if well organized, can make an impression. Let me say it that way. Can make a very positive impression to the betterment of Nigerian people. That is one person. Whether Sheyi Makinde can be trusted to do the same, because in the last election, he gave his brother 600,000 votes against Atiku. So what has changed? So I said, how do we all go to sleep and this country collapses? Biafra would, if you were old enough to see what happened in Biafra, look at this, huh? What's wrong with, if not that God said I should raise my hand somehow. I raised it. So somebody was aiming me from Savoy Hotel next to Zeke's compound in Onisha. It was raising this hand that they shattered there. I would have been dead. So each time I said, God, why did you keep me alive? During the war, I said, I will study medicine. And only to get back when I entered medical school. We have first set of medical school in Enugu, and I couldn't do anatomy because these were like this. Look at that now, growing little. It was like this after the war because the nerves, everything here was shattered. If you saw this hand, I didn't know how Dr. Nwozo did this operation during the war. It was difficult to believe. Halfway, the anesthesia finished, and I was just saying Hail Mary. I don't want to get back into it. So when I see all these people talking, you see, how can a country be moving without hope? With vision, you have to vision and see your vision materialized. How do we do it? When you see the nature of people running the affairs in 36 states, like we said, they are not children of Zeke or Awolowo. They are common poor people that their parents had no address. Their parents struggled to train them. They suddenly emerged, being legislators, governors, and they went on a rampage.
So guys, let me take you through some of the interesting headlines on the social media that Nigerians have been reacting to. There's one funny headline here that I don't want to fail capturing it, and it says, just in, Kaduna's internal security commissioner's phone was stolen at the security meeting in Kaduna yesterday. So guys, what are we not going to see in Nigeria? This country is just like a drama scene. A security meeting was being held, and in that meeting, a security situation was experienced. Can you imagine this? Kaduna's internal security commissioner's phone was stolen at security meeting in Kaduna yesterday. What a shameful headline. This is not even worth talking about. And this person said, I'm entertained. Hey, what kind of people do we have in this country as leaders? This person say, you they waiting. A security challenge has been experienced while discussing security challenges. International community will be reading Nigerian news headline like, what is this? Oh my good God. This person said he should call the Minister of Defense. This person even added the poster of bandits. Don't worry, we are coming to control the situation. A very competent man. Hey, this was a nothing we never hear for this country. Wonders shall never end for Zoology Republic. Another person say Jesus of Asaba. Can you imagine which one is Jesus of Asaba? God forbid. This person say the security no balance at all. Ew, Nigeria. What kind of news headline are we not going to be seeing? This is a country that wants investors to come in. God, who is going to be seeing this kind of headlines and we want to come into Nigeria to invest? Who is going to come into this country to invest with this kind of headlines that we are seeing? Now, wow. Now, Alex Oti has said those planning to reach 2027 in Abia State governorship election should write their will. Alex Oti warns. Alex Oti this time is not playing, no, write your will because Aba people are going to resist you with their blood. Sir, with what you've done in Abia so far, I don't think there's any need for election. Take another 2 tenures if you want. This was just imagine seeing a Lagos State governor make this statement. Good morning, my lovely governor. Hope you slept well. You are covered with the blood of Jesus. I can't wait for the day I will see you and I will see you. I am a son of the soil from Abia State. Umu Neochi, local government, watching you live from Abuja. That's my governor. We need more of you in Nigeria. Our people have never been in Cameroon refugee camp for decades after Boko Haram attack. Government pays, reintegrates our killers, but abandon us, the victims. Please add your voice for us. This person said, dear Governor Oti, please, you need to stand that Benji. That Benji is a desperate politician. The annoyance on capturing or winning 2027 is not that they have hope of winning by voting. They want to rig it by all means, and they are already preparing for it. You must wake up now and stop them. All of them, this person say, all of them should have it in their mind that they are all failures. Alex Oti, now you will know for this struggle. This person say, who say election no go count? We will count them. This other person said, this man will go far in politics. Another person said, 4 plus 4 is sure, sir. Isha is working and Oti is working. Another person here said, tell them, senior man. So people are really applauding Alex Oti to have come out so boldly to tell Benjamin Carlo of National Assembly, House of Assembly, that Mr. Man, no matter how you feel, Tinubu is going to help you to rig. It's not going to work this time. You know? Now, people have been reeling out, like this person is reeling out Tinubu's achievement. This is coming after the IMF has come out to say Nigeria is not even among the best economies in Africa, you know. And this person said Tinubu's achievement so far, he divided our country, he removed all subsidies, he pardoned drug trafficking, he doubled our national debt, he increased taxes and poverty, he pardoned murderers, he upgraded corruption to a new version, he pushed millions of Nigerians into multidimensional poverty and hunger. It is very sad situation in our dear country. It is a very sad situation in our dear country. It's really, really so sad, honestly, what Nigerians are going through. Now, let's see some reactions from Nigerians. This person say he divided ECOWAS. That's true. He divided ECOWAS. Can you imagine? Hey, this is an image of Tinubu spreading loans all over the place. Loans. His legacy forever. They can lie to themselves, but history does not lie. Why you know how to change our national anthem? This person said, Nigeria can never eat 3 square meals under this administration. Too bad. You didn't add that he took nepotism to its highest echelon. This person said, pardon for drug peddlers and murderers in all hogwash and propaganda. The removal of subsidy and tax increase is your real headache. You folks up north have spent your entire lives on handouts and can't figure out a way to live without one. Unfortunately, no more freebies. Tinubu is a disaster, useless fellow human being. Is Tinubu the one that said you and your tribe should be killing Christians? Headless mom. You are correct, Malam. That Tinubu strategy and his fellow followers are mostly by your Ononuga and other. Peter Obi is coming. Inshallah. Inshallah, Banza. So, guys, these are some of the headlines. And the most interesting headline on the social media is the new INEC report, you know. Not INEC, sorry. The new IMF report that says Nigeria is not even among the thriving economies in Africa. You can imagine Nigeria has fallen very, very backwards under Tinubu. That IMF is saying that Nigeria government is not even among the best economies currently. So you can imagine where we are heading to. I'm just going to read out the headline for you to see for yourself. Now it says, breaking news. IMF has revealed that Nigeria is not among Africa's fastest growing economies as countries such as Benin Republic, Cote d'Ivoire, Ethiopia, Rwanda, Uganda continue to lead the continent's growth trajectory in the world. Can you imagine? Benin Republic, hey, Cote d'Ivoire, Ethiopia, Rwanda, Uganda. All these ones are the ones leading. Nigerians are reacting. This person say, we already know, giant of Africa in the mud. We are giant of borrowers in Africa. Another person here say, he's a political genius. APC is winning Southeast, but this reform despoil your present and future well-being. This person say, how Nigeria got to grow with all this IMF loan. They're saying, how can Nigeria grow with all the IMF loan? Meaning, IMF is pumping loan in Nigeria and expecting Nigeria to grow. Another person here said Nigeria was the fastest growing economy even before Jonathan removed fuel subsidy when these fools came out to protest. Now fuel subsidy is gone and APC claimed they have huge savings while poverty has now skyrocketed under APC. This fool is using all kinds of languages there. This other person said they will soon come for you now. Another person said the only growing economy led by Yaribas. Another person now says 2015, Nigeria was the third fast growing economy in the world. Hey, 2025, Nigeria not even the fastest growing in Africa. Oh my God. Anyways, why should this matter when they have captured the East and the entire South with more politicians joining our party? So Nigeria was among the first 5 in the entire world. Now Nigeria does not even meet up in Africa. This other person said Nigeria was listed as one of the fastest growing economies in 2015. That is in the entire world. We really fell behind. Now, Nigeria is not even catching up among the African nations. Oh my God, really sad that we got here. Honestly, it's really, really so sad that we got here. Now, this other person here said, how can Nigeria grow with property demolition, terrorism and insecurity, gridlock and corruption at ports with few functioning ports, election fraud, lack of power supply, running water, etc. None likely to fix anytime soon. None likely to be fixed anytime soon. And this when Nigeria is in decline, that is an understatement. But Tinubu is not even trying to build an economy. Yoruba criminals are trying to plunder as much as they could before 2027. The same IMF that praised subsidy removal and fix and FX reform now uses short-term pain to judge growth. Real reform doesn't show up in 1 year. It builds foundation. Let's talk again in 2016 when the result of discipline starts showing. So this person is saying that it's too early for IMF to judge. Now statistics we go chop. That's what this person is saying. Now statistics we go chop. Now what? This other person is saying this person posted delivery to me comment that says Nigeria system intolerable, unfit for human habitation. That is coming from Mr. Dele. This is not a new headline. I think sometime in 2024. So guys, you can see Nigerians are really lamenting how much destruction the Tinubu's government has caused to this country. You know, other smaller countries are making wave. And Nigeria is where it is today. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on all this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.